My name is Jacky Lipke, Jackielipke.
And you're who's mommy?
I'm Cody's mom.
So how old are you?
I am 52 years old.
Okay. And you and Kevin have been together how long?
21 years.
How'd you meet?
I don't know that I really want to go down that story.
Were you pole dancing?
A long time ago in Bentonville, Arkansas. We lived there, and I worked for my dad, and we met there, and it's been an adventure ever since.
And how old's Cody?
I just turned 18.
When was that?
January 3rd.
Okay. When did he start racing?
4 years old. Probably sooner than that, but actually officially having some sort of a race sort of cart or something like that we took him to races 4 years old.
So that's in a motorized vehicle?
Yes.
At 4?
Definitely showed interest earlier than that, just because his father raced.
When he was growing up, was his father still racing?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So tell me about that.
He pretty much walked around in a walker in our garage with his dad, working on race cars and cutting his hands open on the bottom of race cars, probably at 1 year old already. Had a Power Wheel thing that we had a neighbor across the street that there was a driveway. He figured out how to take that Power Wheel, which just ran on a stupid little battery you charged, and do a donut in their driveway. He could get enough speed going down the hill and take his foot off the gas and just jerk the wheel and just turn that thing around. We probably went through 3 sets of wheels alone just on that Power Wheel, or that power thing. Like I said, then his dad thought he'd try him out on dirt bikes, so they bought a dirt bike. They went out a couple times. Cody spilled. It really wasn't too crazy about that feeling. Had some friends that raced go-karts, and they said, hey, come borrow one from us, take him to a race, see how he does, how he likes it. We took him out to a race. He won that race, and he was hooked from that day on.
So when he was 4, he was racing against how old?
4-year-olds, 4 and 5-year-olds.
Okay. Because I know nothing about this
Yeah.
field, so
When-
I'm going
when
to
he
ask
started-
stupid
yeah, no,
questions.
that's
Sorry.
fine. When he started out in go-karts, it was pretty much by age. Then it became a age and a weight type limit thing. The older they get, the more experience that they have. Gosh, we did go-karts forever. I just couldn't wait to get out of it. The kid was so little, and the cart always had to weigh so much. We always had to put so many weights on the go-kart. To lift it up, it was like you were lifting up. It was just terrible. And then he moved up. He just, all of a sudden, his dad just, some track said, oh, hey, we'll let him do this. And the next thing you know, we were moving up, and it just seems like a blur since then. He's going faster than I ever wanted him to go.
So what's the fastest speed that he's gone?
I don't know that I know that officially. They tell me a lot of things. I know over 100. Like I said, I don't know officially. Like I said, I don't really want to know.
Yeah. So when's he going to get his driver's license?
Considering where we live, and 19 being one of the deadliest highways in the whole United States, I haven't been too anxious for that. Feeling like he already jeopardizes his life enough on the racetrack. So he finally got a permit, and he's going to go any day soon. But again, I haven't pushed that either. Our business has always been on 19, and I see accidents daily, and it's just so hard to say, okay, yeah, just go out there and take my car and go on down the road.
So is he safer on a racetrack?
Oh, I believe so. I believe so. Just because of how he straps himself in and the equipment that he wears, and he wears a Hans device. So I really don't worry about him too much, unless he does airborne type stuff, which he does have a tendency to do. But yeah, you figure there's what, 30 to 50 cars on a track at one time compared to thousands of cars on the road with him. And like I said, I just see too many accidents that I haven't really pushed for him to do it.
So his schedule, he must be a magician at trying to get done everything that he does. What is a typical day for the family? What is a typical day like?
Well, through the years it's changed, but he pretty much gets up and goes to school all day. Then either myself or his father pick him up from school and bring him to the shop. He works at our shop normally 3 to 4 hours a day. Then if he hasn't got a lot of homework, then he'll go back and he'll work in his race shop for an hour or two before we go home, and then he'll go home, work on his homework, and take a shower and go to bed and get up and do it all over again. If it's on a weekend, I get him up out of bed and I get him to his weekend job, which he actually owns a go-kart track at the USA Flea Market here, and so he has to operate that and maintain all the go-karts for that and collect the money and keep the carts running and keep all the people in and out of them and rearrange tires all day and things like that, keep the fence up and just maintain the track and work out there.
So when does he have time to date?
Date? He doesn't do too much of that. Once in a while he gets a little bit of free time. Can't say that he's ever been too interested in girls. His dad's pretty much taught him early on, girls are bad, you want a race or do you want a girlfriend? Make a choice now. So not that he's not interested in girls, believe me, he is. It's just kind of hard to find that special girl. Racing's hard. Racing lifestyle is hard. You got to put in a lot of hours, a lot of work.
How often are you on the road to go to the different races?
If they had their way, we'd be on the road constantly, but normally at least once a weekend.
So over the last 14 years, money's just flown to this.
Oh yeah.
Is it kind of like gambling?
Um,
Every race is a new race?
yeah, but when you see the love in his eyes and you see your son happy at the end of the day, it's hard not to do it. It's his dream. It's what he wants. It's just a hard road, but every kid out there's got a dream, and all their roads are hard.
Not every kid's got parents supporting that dream. So he's very lucky.
I hope he knows that.
One day he'll figure it out. We all hope one day they figure it out.
Yeah. We all remember what those teenage years were like. The greatest race, I don't know. There's so many memories. So many wins, so many trophies. I don't know. Of course, the accidents and the mishaps are always the ones that stick in your mind the most.
So how many times have you been a scared mama?
Quite a few. Quite a few. I already knew way back when he was little. He was still in go-karts. We were practicing. His dad and I left to go to the store real quick, and our best friend was watching them, and of course you always have that thought, oh, they're just out there practicing, nothing's going to happen, there ain't no race, nobody's racing against nothing. And in that practice he got hurt and flipped his go-kart and went sliding down the track. I was ready for it to be over then. Of course they weren't.
So is there a time that it gets done?
I have a hard time. I have a hard time watching him. He's my only son. I hold my breath most of the time he's out on the track. If there are people sitting around me that know me, they're always telling me, breathe, breathe. It's hard to breathe when your kid's out there. Most of the time, until recently, and he's finally growing up, he was always the youngest one out there. He was always racing against 30, 40-year-old men. And it's hard when you have a 13-year-old and you know he's out there racing with grown men. And you see these men get so upset and after a race and come out of the car and swinging at each other. And it's a rough sport. And so, of course, I've always been concerned. But he's always done good, and he's always stuck up for himself. And he knows the right thing, and his dad knows the right thing. And like I said, I guess he's safer in a race car really than he is out on 19. And I stand behind him. I understand that it's what he wants to do. It's just hard, and there's a lot of sacrifices families make for their kids to do this.
What